How often do you think about your heart health? Are you aware of the risks of cardiovascular disease? Well, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Cardiovascular diseases, encompassing coronary heart disease and stroke, claim the top spot as the leading cause of death in the United States. Particularly at risk are Blacks and Hispanics in underserved communities. It's a sobering reality, isn't it? But there's good news. Cardiovascular disease is largely preventable. Stay tuned to learn how you can keep your heart beating strong. Heart Smarts, a health program, is here to empower you to live a heart-healthy lifestyle. This program is not just about information, but about transformation. It offers a comprehensive approach to help you understand and achieve heart health. Heart Smarts is committed to reducing the incidence of cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death in the United States. The program focuses on underserved communities where the risk of heart disease and stroke is greatest. Through education and empowerment, Heart Smarts aims to turn the tide on these statistics. It's a call to action, a call to change, a call to live healthier, longer lives. Heart Smarts is about arming you with the knowledge and tools you need to make heart-smart choices every day. It's about the power of prevention and the promise of a healthier future. Remember, Heart Smarts is not just a program, it's a life-changing journey. It's about taking control of your health, one heartbeat at a time. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to these stories from people who have benefited from Heart Smarts. Imagine being told you're at risk for heart disease, a leading cause of death in the United States. Now picture having the knowledge and tools to combat that risk head-on. For people like Maria, a single mother from an underserved community, Heart Smarts was a beacon of hope. The program informed decisions about her heart health, ultimately reducing her risk of cardiovascular diseases. And then there's John, a middle-aged man who was once a prisoner of his poor lifestyle choices. For him, Heart Smarts was not just a program, but a lifesaver. It opened his eyes to the risks he was taking and gave him the push he needed to commit to a healthier lifestyle. These are not just testimonials, they are life-changing stories. Stories of empowerment, resilience, and triumph over heart disease. These are real stories from real people who have seen the impact of Heart Smarts in their lives. Are you ready to be the next success story? Your heart health is in your hands, and with Heart Smarts, you have the power to make a difference. It's time to take that first step towards a healthier lifestyle, a step that could redefine your future. Heart Smarts is not just an ally, it's a beacon, guiding you to make informed decisions for your heart health. So why wait? The path to a healthier heart is just a click away. You'll find the link to Heart Smarts right down in the description below. Start your journey towards a healthier heart today with Heart Smarts.
Imagine this. What if everything you knew about reality was just a tiny fraction of the whole picture? Welcome to the fascinating realm of quantum mechanics, a field of science that dares to challenge our everyday perceptions of reality. It's the science of the extremely small, delving into the mysterious subatomic world. It's where particles can exist in multiple states at once and be entangled across vast distances. Intriguing, isn't it? Welcome to the beguiling world of quantum mechanics, where the impossible becomes possible. So, what exactly is quantum mechanics, and why should you care? Well, let's start with the basics. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with phenomena on a very small scale, such as molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles like electrons and photons. It's a funky world where the rules of classical physics that we're comfortable with don't apply. Now, imagine a game of billiards. In the everyday world, if you know the initial positions and velocities of the balls, you can predict where they'll end up after the break. That's classical physics in action. But in the quantum world, things aren't so straightforward. Quantum mechanics tells us that particles can exist in multiple states at once, a concept known as superposition. You can't predict exactly where a particle will be, you can only predict the probability of finding it in different places. It's like our billiards game has the balls spread out in a cloud of possibilities instead of precise locations. So why should you care? You see, quantum mechanics is not just some abstract theory, it underpins the laws of nature and the universe. It's why the sun shines, why the ground beneath our feet is solid, and why your computer works. It's the rule book for how particles, and thus everything in the universe, interact and exist. And if we can truly master these rules, the possibilities are mind-boggling. Quantum computers, which harness these weird quantum properties, could solve problems in seconds that would take current supercomputers millions of years. Quantum communication could lead to unhackable networks. Quantum mechanics also prompts us to question our understanding of reality itself. It suggests that the world is far more strange and wonderful than we could ever have imagined. It stretches our understanding of what's possible, pushing us to rethink, reimagine, and redefine our place in the universe. In other words, quantum mechanics is the rulebook for how everything in the universe interacts at the smallest scales. Now, let's tackle one of the most mind-boggling concepts in quantum mechanics, superposition. Imagine you're reading a book, but instead of reading it page by page, you read all the pages at once. It sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly the kind of impossible we're dealing with when we talk about superposition in quantum mechanics. In the quantum world, particles don't play by the same rules as the larger objects we're familiar with. Here, particles can be in multiple states at the same time, much like reading all the pages of a book simultaneously. This is the essence of superposition. Let's take a simple example. An electron in an atom doesn't orbit the nucleus in the way planets orbit the sun. Instead, it exists in a cloud of probabilities, a superposition of all possible locations around the nucleus. The electron is not just at one place, but potentially everywhere in that cloud, all at the same time. Now, if you're scratching your head, don't worry. Superposition defies our everyday intuition, but it's a fundamental aspect of the quantum world. The curious thing is, once we measure a quantum system, this superposition collapses to a single state. Going back to our book analogy, it's like finally turning the page and reading one line at a time. The act of measurement forces the electron to choose a single location from its cloud of probabilities. But here's the kicker. Until we measure it, we can't predict which state it will end up in. It's a bit like a game of quantum roulette. So, in a nutshell, superposition is the ability of quantum particles to exist in multiple states at once, until observed or measured. This isn't some abstract theoretical concept, but a reality of the quantum world, with real implications for technologies like quantum computing and cryptography. So, superposition allows particles to be in a state of this and that, rather than this or that. Quite a game changer, isn't it? From superposition, we move to another quantum quirk, entanglement. Now, if you thought superposition was a head-scratcher, get ready to dive into an even deeper rabbit hole. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon that has left scientists and philosophers alike scratching their heads for decades. So, what exactly is quantum entanglement? Picture this. Two particles, born together, become instantly connected. They're like cosmic twins. Even if one is sent to the farthest reaches of the universe while the other stays put, they remain connected. This means that whatever happens to one particle will instantly influence the other, no matter the distance. It's as if they're two sides of the same coin, forever intertwined. This concept defies our everyday understanding of how the world works. It tells us that the universe is fundamentally interconnected in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. Now you might be wondering, how is this even possible? Well, welcome to the world of quantum mechanics, where the impossible becomes possible and the improbable becomes probable. Quantum entanglement arises from the properties of particles at the quantum level. When two particles become entangled, their quantum states become interdependent. A change in one particle's state will induce a corresponding change in the other's, instantaneously. This instantaneous action defies Einstein's theory of relativity, which states that nothing can travel faster than light. It's like the two particles are communicating at a speed beyond our comprehension. The interesting thing is, we don't fully understand how or why entanglement works. It's one of the greatest mysteries of quantum physics. But it's not just theoretical. Scientists have been able to entangle particles in the lab, and it's a key principle in the development of quantum computing and quantum cryptography. So no matter how far apart they are, entangled particles are like cosmic twins, mirroring each other's states. Intriguing, isn't it? So, what does all this quantum weirdness mean for our understanding of reality? Our journey into the quantum realm has indeed been a wild ride, hasn't it? We've leaped into quantum mechanics, simplified superposition, and untangled entanglement. Now, let's delve into the implications of all this quantum quirkiness on our perception of reality. Classically, we've always seen the universe as deterministic. That is, if we know the state of the universe at one point in time, we can, in theory, predict its future. A thrown ball, for instance, its trajectory can be calculated given its starting conditions. This is the clockwork universe where everything ticks along predictably. But quantum mechanics, well, it laughs in the face of such simplistic views. Remember our friend the electron in superposition? It exists in multiple states simultaneously until observed, and only then does it choose a state. There's no predicting with certainty which state it'll end up in, only probabilities. This paints a picture of a universe that's not just unpredictable, but inherently probabilistic. It's a radical departure from our everyday experiences and challenges our intuitive understanding of reality. It suggests that the universe at its core is governed by chance, not certainty. And let's not forget entanglement. Two particles, no matter how far apart, instantaneously affecting each other's states. It's as if they're communicating faster than light, something that contradicts Einstein's theory of relativity. This phenomenon, dubbed spooky action at a distance, further shatters our conventional understanding of space and time. These quantum conundrums lead us to question, what is reality? Is it something fixed and deterministic, or is it fluid and probabilistic? Is it local, confined by space and time, or is it non-local, with connections that defy distance? Quantum mechanics shows us that reality is not as straightforward as we might think. It's a realm of probabilities, not certainties. So the next time you look at the stars, remember, the universe is not just stranger than we imagine, it's stranger than we can imagine. But isn't that part of the fun? So, we've taken a whirlwind tour of the quantum world. But what's the takeaway? Well, we've dived deep into the rabbit hole of quantum mechanics and emerged somewhat enlightened. We started our journey by understanding the quantum leap. The idea that particles can jump from one energy level to another without passing through the space in between. It's a bit like teleporting from your couch to the fridge during a commercial break, isn't it? Then, we explored the concept of superposition, where particles can exist in multiple states at once until observed. It's as if your cat is both on the sofa and on the windowsill at the same time, until you turn to look. We also unraveled the enigma of entanglement, where particles become so deeply connected that the state of one instantly influences the other, no matter the distance between them. Imagine if you could feel the rain in Paris while sunbathing in New York. That's entanglement for you. And finally, we pondered over the quantum quandary, the implications of quantum mechanics on our understanding of reality. It's like realizing that beneath the surface of our everyday world, there's a swirling, unpredictable, and fascinating quantum realm. So next time you look at the world around you, remember, there's a whole quantum realm underpinning it all, making